Smart plugs are one of those things that seemingly everyone owns a version of these days, but does going for a 5 GHz option actually solve the dropout problems that the cheaper ones are known for? Well, these are the EIGHTREE ET35s. $29.99, and after using them to automate my gaming room lighting, here's whether they're worth it. Quick disclaimer before we do get into this review is that EIGHTREE did send these plugs out for review, however they've not paid me, this is not a sponsored video, this is simply all of my raw and unedited thoughts and all of my opinions are my own. So my first reaction to opening these on the unboxing video, which you can check out on the channel, is that they are honestly much smaller than I originally expected. A much lower profile than some of the other smart plugs that I already own. So what's good about that is that they don't stick out awkwardly in a socket. Everything else about them feels exactly like you'd expect from a smart plug. It's decent quality plastic, nothing flashy, just a solid build. One thing I called out straight away and still appreciate on this product is the physical on-off button on the side. It genuinely just sounds like a small thing, it's just a button, but being able to switch it on and off manually without touching your phone is genuinely useful. So when I first got these, the plan was to be able to automate my office lighting. I have a few lights in the background of my sort of gaming streaming office room that I have to turn on manually every single time. So what I thought was, let's just put a couple of these in and make them come on simultaneously at the same time. And that's exactly what's happened. They've been running on that setup since, and they've worked precisely as planned. Obviously, I've taken them out for this review, but they've been working flawlessly. So the big selling point on the ET35s over cheaper alternatives is the 5 GHz Wi-Fi support instead of the usual 2.4 GHz that you get on most budget smart plugs. In my experience, the connection has been completely perfect. It's been rock solid. It's had no dropouts, no reconnections, no fuss at all with these products. And honestly, there's something that I researched that I actually didn't know about until I sort of looked into it properly. Genuine 5 GHz smart plugs are actually quite rare. Almost every smart plug on the market is 2.4 GHz only because the hardware is cheaper and plugs don't need that extra speed. EIGHTREE are actually one of the very few brands that are doing proper dual band on a plug at all, which is a much bigger deal than the listing itself makes it sound. Now the counterpoint to that is that 2.4 GHz does have better range and gets through walls more easily than 5 GHz. So if you're putting plugs in far corners of a big house, then that's genuinely something that's worth thinking about before purchasing something like this. The reason 5 GHz helps for a lot of people is the band steering headache. Your phone jumps onto 5 GHz while the plug is stuck looking for 2.4 GHz, and pairing just starts becoming a bit of a mess. Having a plug that can just sit on that 5 GHz network sidesteps that entire process entirely. I have seen some reviews that say that there's some connectivity issues and headaches with these, but I've not had that experience at all. So it's not completely universal, but I've had no issues with the connectivity whatsoever. Setup goes through the Smart Life app, which I actually already had installed from other smart devices that I own, so pairing these took barely any time at all. From there, you get, of course, the control from the app itself, you get voice control through Alexa or Google Assistant, and also the ability to set timers and schedules, which is exactly what you'd want for lighting automation, like I did with my setup. Digging a bit deeper into the app, there's actually more here than I expected for these two plugs for £30 type deal. There's power monitoring built in, so you can pull up daily, weekly, and monthly consumption for whatever you've decided to plug into this, which is honestly really useful if you want to know exactly what your gaming setup is actually costing you to run, rather than just guessing. And of course it extends beyond just gaming as well. Whatever you plug into this, you'll know all the data for. And it'll even break that down into an estimated electricity cost once you put your actual rate into the app. There's also a setting that automatically switches the plug off after a set period of no power being drawn, which is a nice touch if you tend to forget that things are still plugged in and idle. On top of that, you've got child lock and overcharge protection sitting in the settings too, so there's a bit more thought that's gone into these rather than just on, off, timer. You can also group multiple plugs together and set up automations that trigger off other devices, which is exactly how I've got mine working for my gaming room lighting. One action kicks off the rest without me touching anything. And the only real downside here, and it's not EIGHTREE's fault or these plugs' fault, it's kind of true for every smart plug on the market, not just this one, is that the plug needs to stay physically powered on for any of the smart features to work. So if someone accidentally switches it off at the socket, then none of the automation, voice control, scheduling, or any of that stuff does anything until that plug comes back on, which is just something to keep in mind with where you actually position these and who else may be in your household. So at £29.99 for the 2-pack like I have here, the ET35 sits above the cheaper end of the market. EIGHTREE's own 2.4 GHz plugs are around £20 for two, so you're paying roughly a tenner extra for the 5 GHz capability. There's also a 4-pack version if you need more, which actually works out at a better price per plug. Whether that premium price is worth it comes entirely down to whether you've had connection headaches before. If your 2.4 GHz plugs have been fine, then probably save the money and just get those. But if you've been fighting dropouts or you need the extra 5 GHz connection, then this is the fix for you. So before we get into my full verdict, I just wanted to let you guys know that the link to these products are in the description. That is an Amazon affiliate link. If you'd like to check them out and buy them through that link, that would support the channel and help us out greatly. Also, not just these plugs, but anything that you buy through our link and through that setup will support the channel, and it really does mean a lot to us. So thank you so much for that. If you'd like to check them out, they are in the description, and any purchases through there help support the channel. So is the 5 GHz upgrade actually worth it over a cheaper standard smart plug? Based on how solid the connection's been for me, then I'd have to say yes. These have done exactly what I wanted. Automating my gaming room lighting without a single dropout since I set them up. And they've even given me some insights into how I'm actually using electricity in my house, which has been invaluable. At £29.99, I would definitely buy these without hesitation. If this review has helped you out, then of course make sure to leave a like rating on this video. Check out these products down in the description. That is of course an affiliate link, so any purchases made through there does help support the channel. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to ZapFeed so you never miss out on any of our future content. Check out the unboxing video for these plugs up there in the top left of the screen. Let me know what you think about them down in the comment section down below. Of course, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.